Hey Fletcher, did you know that one survey found that 89% of employees would take a small pay cut to choose to use their own work device? And you know what? I get that, because I would too. Even as a die-hard Apple fanboy, it's not about brand loyalty, but it's the fact that I know how to use macOS. I know how to troubleshoot it, I know how to use keyboard shortcuts, I've even configured Siri shortcuts to help me automate some of my most repetitive work. And I imagine that if you're a Windows user, you feel the same way. If you work for a large company and are forced to use Windows, you may not think that a Mac is a viable option in your workplace. And while I can't comment on your specific organization, I mean, this is a video, I kind of can't see you, the Mac has made some impressive strides. In 2019, IBM released a study that showed Apple users exceeded expectations 22% more often than their non-Apple counterparts, and that those same Apple users generated 16% more revenue than their non-Apple counterparts, all while generating a higher net promoter score and being 17% less likely to leave IBM, all while only requiring a third of the IT support for the same number of users as Windows PCs. At that time, IBM managed nearly 300,000 Apple devices. Cisco has 56,000 Macs, and that's just shy of half of their entire computer fleet. And SAP supports 30,000 Macs within their device fleet. In fact, 100% of Fortune 500 companies use Apple products in some capacity. That's pretty impressive in a world not welcoming to Mac in the workplace. Another study found that 87% of Apple users experienced productivity increases, while 86% of them experienced an increase in their creativity. I'm not saying that Mac has taken over business, but we're a long way beyond when just executive leadership were able to be unique and picked a Mac. But now employees at every level are able to get a Mac within their organization. How has the Mac become so successful at work despite so many people believing that it could never achieve this? Perhaps the single greatest contributor to the Mac's rise in the workplace is the monumental move to cloud applications. A decade ago, software primarily ran on the device, with the most specialized software often only being available on a single platform, probably Windows. If you were in finance, you had to have a PC to run QuickBooks, but if you were a creative, you probably had a Mac to use Final Cut Pro. Now, QuickBooks is available in the cloud, so is Microsoft Office, and don't forget Google's suite of products like Docs, Sheets, and Slides. And then there's the new age of software like Miro, Aha, Monday, Slack, Notion, countless incredible apps that are available on the web, if not also having a cross-platform application. The fact that software is primarily designed to be web-based now means that there's far less of a need to buy a specific operating system. If a different operating system means that employees are happier, more productive, and have incredible loyalty, why not? For the odd incredibly rare Windows-only application, there's virtualization software like Parallels and UTM, and even cloud-based PCs like Windows 365, meaning it's very easy to give users access to Windows for a single-use purpose if they need it, which hopefully they don't. Hardware quality has also been a tremendous contributor to the Mac's success in the enterprise. The metal body makes a Mac more durable, while the premium display, speakers, and other components create a better user experience. Not to mention, internals like fast SSDs and Apple Silicon has resulted in incredible battery life and performance. Quality hardware means that Macs have a longer overall lifespan than competitors, resulting in either higher salvage values after, say, a 3-year usage period, which is pretty standard in the enterprise, or longer actual usage periods. Either way, a great user experience. I mean, the M2 MacBook Air is being well regarded as one of the best Macs ever for performance and battery life and just overall usability. Information technology, or IT, and information security, or InfoSec departments have also become big fans of Mac in the enterprise. Services like Apple Care Help Desk support, OS support, and enterprise support provide avenues to either reduce the burden on internal help desk teams or provide direct access for IT to contact Tier 2 Apple support advisors for escalated assistance. That's also not including the fact that users seem to require far less overall support when using a Mac, perhaps because the platform is more intuitive, maybe because it's less prone to issues, or it could be from users already knowing how to use and troubleshoot the OS. Regardless, one organization found that they save $635 per Mac in support costs compared to PCs. These are US dollars, by the way. I may be Canadian, but I do know how to use American dollars, thank you very much. For every hour someone doesn't need IT support, it's not just the fact that IT can do something else, but the employee who would normally be having to sit with IT to fix this issue can now focus on their work and be productive. Who would have guessed? Productive employees! What a shocker. Device management services like Jamf, Kanji, Mosul, and Apple Business Essentials also makes managing and securing Macs reasonably easy. Compound this with the fact that macOS is a very security-focused platform. It's been very attractive for organizations, resulting in a 50% reduction in the risk of a data breach per deployed Mac. It shouldn't be forgotten that the rise of iPhones and iPads have also contributed to the Mac's success. The Apple ecosystem of iMessage, iCloud, and the company's plethora of apps and services certainly help to make the platform even more attractive when employees can quickly and seamlessly switch between devices throughout their workday. I think the Mac has also gained traction with small businesses too, as local Apple Store business teams help to streamline sales and purchasing experiences, while the Genius Bar and Apple Support allow small teams nearly free access to an IT help desk that they would otherwise wouldn't have the funds or day-to-day use for. All of these factors contribute to a solid financial return for organizations. This same study referenced earlier found that Macs have a 336% return on investment, with the average lifecycle savings per device just shy of $850 compared to its non-Apple counterparts, along with a payback period of less than 6 freaking months. Macs are being used as a recruitment and retention tool, as well as a revenue and productivity driver. Rolling out Macs within an organization requires input from a variety of stakeholders, including direct users, IT, InfoSec, finance, executive leadership. Regardless of an organization's size, Macs can be deployed to a team of 1, a few dozen, a few hundred, or even hundreds of thousands. It's a very scalable and approachable platform for all organizations. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like this video if you either use or want to use a Mac at work. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and ring the bell to be notified when I drop my next video. See you again soon!